back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. And of course, this morning's show we are dealing with everyone's number one fear, and that is public speaking. Now, public speaking, in my experience as well, is something that can really get you very far when it comes to communicating with other people and getting even your day-to-day tasks done when it comes to interacting with colleagues or with friends, or even giving a speech at a wedding, a toast or anything like that. It's always nice to have those skills there. And even when it comes to other things like employability, I'm sure that Dr. Dina Sadik can tell us about how important it is to have soft skills of this nature, isn't it,
Yes,
Doctor?
absolutely. Because even when it comes to facing an interview, it's about the confidence that you have. And what I often tell everybody who attends this kind of program, or even who have an interest towards this, is that it's not about what you say, but it's how you say it.
Okay, wow.
Because at the end of the day, you can get three people saying the same thing, but one person is going to stand out based on the way they said it, how they said it.
Okay.
So by going through this kind of training, what you're doing is learning on the how, because the content is what you have already, the knowledge and what is behind the scene.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to do is make an impression with how you create an impression. It's about presentation at the end of the day.
Yeah, yes.
You know, you can make the best dish, but at the end of the day, the garnishing does matter. So public speaking is about
icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake.
All right. So you can bake the cake really well, but if the icing is not that great, there's just something missing.
Yes.
And so public speaking really is what you need to really have an all-rounded personality, especially when it comes to employability. But what, in your opinion, and from the people that you've interacted with, what do you find really holds people back from public speaking, and why do they have this fear in the first place?
I think the number one culprit for the fear is lack of experience. It's about taking that first step and going and getting your first gig of speaking in front of an audience, because it's about taking that plunge, and then you have got over that biggest fear, which is your first speech.
Yes.
So the icebreaker goes a long way, and if you can get over that, then it's the biggest hurdle, I would say.
Okay.
And when it comes to public speaking, it's not just only about how you speak. It's about everything that goes in from the moment you stand in front of an audience.
Really?
It's
so before
not.
you open your mouth, there is
Absolutely.
something important happening?
Absolutely, because you are being judged from the moment people lay eyes on you. So the way you stand, the way you're dressed, the way you carry yourself, posture, there are so many different things that go into making you a great speaker before you have even said anything. So all of these things come in together, and it's the fusion of all of these different aspects that make you a great speaker. If you do take some of the greatest speakers that we all know, sometimes it's their uniqueness and it's their style in which we remember them. For example, Steve Jobs.
I was just thinking that off the top of my head. I mean, he's a legend, isn't he? But he had his own way of doing it.
He had his own casual way of showing up. And there are so many different examples in which people have their own unique signature as to how they want to present themselves. But if you're an amateur, it would be safe not to focus so much on creating that unique style before you learn the basics.
The basics are very important, definitely. And okay, so maybe we can share on Good Morning Sri Lanka some little things, little habits that people can incorporate, things that are easy to incorporate into their daily lives, how they interact with other people, that will really help them improve their public speaking and their communication. Dr. Dina?
So yes, I would say one of the things is to be confident, and to also remember that nobody is perfect. You know, this is like a cliche, but sometimes we tend to forget. When you're on the spot and when you're in front of an audience, you are assuming that you're expected to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be that way. Because remember that being the number one fear, majority of the audience in front of you are all having that fear already.
I see.
So the fact that you're already on the other side makes you somebody who has had better courage.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
And
that's a perspective that I've never thought of before. That's true, isn't it?
Yes. And also when people make small mistakes, sometimes you might have said something wrong or even given some misinformation, don't make it a point to let people know. You know, if it's something factual and you're, for example, in a corporate setting and you have given a piece of information which is actually erroneous, then you can, of course, apologize.
Yeah, yes.
But don't overdo it.
Okay,
right? For example, when people start off a speech, one of the biggest mistakes they do is apologize by saying, I have never done this before, I'm so sorry, but I really can't promise you
forgive
much.
me for my mistakes before I even
Exactly.
start making them.
That's actually offensive to your audience, because they have taken the time and trouble to show up there to listen to you.
Yeah.
And if you say that you didn't even have the time to prepare for it, then you're offending them, because at the end of the day, nobody expects you to be perfect. All they want is to do your best.
Okay.
So showing up there and doing your best humanly possible in itself is as much as they can expect. So starting off with an apology is a total no-no.
Things that you can keep in mind, and good insights that we've given out here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. But you've had a lot of experience training corporates, and is this something that you keep coming up against all the time? It's the wall that's always there when it comes to public speaking.
Yes.
And let's talk about your experiences in the corporate sector when it comes to training.
Sure. So in the corporate sector, usually it's more specific. It's not like a student who would say they just want to improve their speaking skills. Or it would be something as specific as presentation skills.
Yes.
Because presentation in itself is a whole different ball game. Because you're formal and you can't really express yourself as much as you would like to, because there's a time frame and there's a limited information around which you're supposed to design your speaking as well.
Okay.
So something else that the corporates like to focus on is in the manner in which they speak. You know, and it's also like the tone, for example, like sometimes you can be saying it, but if you're saying it in a monotone, and there is really no excitement and enthusiasm in what you're saying, then you're
no
not.
vocal variation. There's just someone saying something in the same tone for a long time, and the audience is like, what's happening?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And I've also heard that eye contact is something that is
Eye
essential.
contact is very important. In fact, I would give a whole module to eye contact.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, but maybe you can give out some idea about how someone can have correct eye contact when they're speaking.
Well, it's really important because it's a matter of respect.
Okay.
You know, you're talking to someone, and if you're too busy, for example, you know, messing around with the handouts, or you're looking at the screen when instead you should be looking at the audience, then it's a matter of respect. And also the eye contact differs when the numbers are different in the audience. If you're, for example, engaging in a small crowd as opposed to a large audience of hundreds and thousands in front of you, then of course it won't be the same.
Okay, so
there are small differences in between that as well.
That's why experts like Dr. Dina Sadiq come in to help you out in how to figure out those things. But now, not only is it only for corporates that something like this is important. We spoke about employability, we spoke about presentation skills, we spoke about all the things that employees should have. But is that the only group of people where public speaking becomes important for?
No. In fact, I have had some moms who are not working, stay-at-home moms, also attend some of the programs. And they found it really useful as well, because, for example, something as simple as socializing at a wedding or a family reunion.
And is this something that they said that they were having problems with?
Yes, some of them said that from a very young age that they didn't have the confidence to maybe address a crowd or host a show, but after going through something of this nature, that they actually have the confidence to go out there and make an announcement and be a part of a social gathering.
So if it is a public speaking course, then there are so many different people that it's suitable for,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so if anyone at all would like to improve their public speaking, it's something that's possible for everyone?
Absolutely.
Is that something you believe really?
Absolutely.
A
I
very
honestly
introverted, shy person.
Absolutely. In fact, I take it in baby steps. For
Okay.
example, if you were to come for, you know, a course and said, I'm just here to only watch, I'm not going to participate.
Okay.
If you're that introverted and tell me, you know what, I'm not going to participate, I'm just here to watch, then I'm just going to let you sit and watch. But then when everybody else is standing up and introducing themselves, I'll tell you to introduce yourself seated just like this. And you wouldn't have a problem, right?
Yeah.
Just like right now.
Probably, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that would be my first step to getting you to even speak, right? So the next step would be to stand up right where you are and to speak.
All right. Okay, so that is baby steps, isn't it?
Yes, and the next step would be maybe to stand exactly where you are and turn around and face the audience, but still close to your comfort zone chair.
If you really want to, you can just sit back down really quickly. But again,
Yes.
so it's really about the approach that you take with each person, and I'm
Absolutely.
sure that it's important to personalize it
Yes.
as well. So if someone does have more questions about public speaking,
Sure.
maybe you can give out an email address that they can contact you
Yes, sure. It's dinasdk@gmail.com.
All right, so this is how you can really get some insight, and I'm sure that this show itself has given you a lot of insight about public speaking. So thank you so much, Dr. Dina, for being with us this morning.
You're
It was a real
welcome.
pleasure to meet you
Thank you.
and to have you on the show, and I'm sure that all of you enjoyed that segment as well, because these are practical things that you can really apply in your life. And keep in mind, even when you go out today, it's a Monday morning, it's a great time to start, and when you go to your workplace, maybe you'll keep these things that you heard on Good Morning Sri Lanka in mind. So we're going for a very short break, but after the break we will be speaking to a group of young people who are doing something very important for other young people. So ventures like this are always something I'm sure you would want to hear about. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Good Morning Sri Lanka.